And welcome back to the hot stage. Kind of like an impromptu video. We're asking whether Hyundai can actually beat Toyota. There's an interesting, as you can see, to your right or left of me. I'd never make a co-driver in rally. But can Hyundai challenge Toyota in 2026? I want to have a look at this article and see whether they can or not. And now, before we have a look at it, yes, I think they can because they showed speed last year. Their car was very much like a knife edge on setup, but when they got it right, it was fast, particularly in the hands of Tanak and Formora at times. Occasionally, Terry, Mr. Neuville, who ended up, thank goodness, winning a rally, albeit the Saudi Arabia rally. That was more like the sea parting for Terry Neuville with the sea of destruction of other rally cars on that, let's be fair, S show of a rally that Cali Rovan Perez said, but I digress. Anyway, can Hyundai challenge Toyota? Yes, I think it can. They said extensive work addressing the weaknesses of the Wild Rally Challenger had left Hyundai confident it can offer a stronger challenge. And I think it absolutely needs to. For the future of Hyundai, the future of the Hyundai Rally team has always been in question. Sadly, I mean, rarely does a year go by over the last couple of years where you don't have 2 or 3 articles about whether Hyundai are actually going to be back next year. Or there we go. So it cites obviously 2024, where Hyundai came agonisingly close, he says, to both the drivers and a Constructors' Championship, which it hasn't really done. And Hyundai found itself, let's be fair, it was whipped by Toyota in 25. And their struggles can be pinned on a number of variables, it says. The squad invested heavily in what was an evolution of its i20N, and while it made strides on gravel rallies, it says, its operating window was narrow, hence, like we keep talking about, that really narrow car setup. Now, the car struggled on asphalt, and when conditions became bumpy and slippery, and let's be fair, it struggled at Kenya, simply it fell apart. Now, the introduction of a new control tyre in Hankook only added the challenge in unlocking consistent speed from the car, it says. Hyundai's resources being stretched by its decision to what was basically prepare a factory program in the WEC, the World Endurance Championship, under the Genesis brand. Now, that must have pulled resources away from its World Rally team, and last season was just as hectic away from the stages as it was on for Hyundai, it says. But now it appears the Korean band has addressed much of what hampered, and let's be fair, let's keep our fingers crossed about that, much of what hampered in 2025. Having said that, they fixed it. The issue is going to be Toyota didn't need any fixing, so have they just got better and out of reach for Hyundai? Well, let's hope Monte Carlo reinvigorates their 26 campaign. Now, Andrew Whitley said, I personally feel the team is in a much stronger position, as in the team is good and everyone knows that, he said. The people in the team are working incredibly hard, but I think we have a feeling of positive energy. He said, when asked if Hyundai can challenge for the title, Wheatley added, I think we definitely can challenge. I mean, that's good, but this is the beginning of the season. Yeah, let's be fair, everyone's confident before it starts. And he said, but if you make one wrong decision here, it has knock-on consequences, and here it is not a lottery, but not a foregone conclusion. We need to make sure everyone does what they need to do. Now, understanding how to maximise their car has been the key objective, and it's going to be key this year, how to get that setup right, how to get that sweet spot, and how it can span the car's operating window, especially on those asphalt rallies. And our clear development strategy has been devised, apparently, led by our technical director, has resulted in Hyundai making key improvements for the i20N this season. One homologation joker has been spent upgrading gear ratios, for example, to compensate for the loss of hybrid. The second joker has been used to address the stability, and this is, I think, it's going to be more key for its drivers, because they need, as a rally driver, if you're not confident in your rally car, you're going to be slow. And its key is going to address the stability on the i20N's front end and make it more, there we go, predictable and less nervous, therefore more confident for their drivers. He said, I'm delighted with the way the car has progressed, and we know the performance of the car is good. We know it's about how much we understand it, the operating window, the design team and the testing have done an incredible job, he says. And I have to say, FX has worked really incredibly hard over the last 3 months to understand how we can make sure that package is improved. And the intention is to try and make the car more predictable in a wider window, and that's the big issue they had last year. The wider window, car setup, and absolute lack of confidence for their drivers. But Toyota have also been busy during the off-season upgrading their their Yaris suspension. And there's the issue. Toyota haven't been standing still, where Hyundai you kind of feel they've gone a bit backwards since 2024. So they've got, it's almost like they're starting a football game 2-0 up. Can they do it? Absolutely. However, in order to be in the best shape possible for the new season, they spent 60 days, Hyundai did testing, and I think they've tested more than Toyota since the end of the Saudi Arabia Rally. This is not just focused on the Rally 1 cars, they're also looking at the Rally 2 car. And Hyundai have also relocated its permanent test base from Finland's gravel road to France. So yeah, I feel they've tested more than Toyota, so it's going to be really interesting. So can they beat Toyota? Yes. Are Toyota still favourites? Probably, but only time will tell. And hey, Nouveau won in 2024, Monte Carlo, and never look back. So as we know, it can be done. But there we go. If you've made it to the end, thank you very much. Give us a big fat subscribe if we're not worthy. But until then, we'll speak to you soon. Once again, thank you very much. Stay safe, but stay sideways.